mama, don't stress your mind. We coming home.
Good day, class! I'm your teacher for today, and I am Mary J. de Guzman, and you can call me Teacher Joy. So for today's lesson, we were going to discuss a poem which entitled The Indian Burying Ground by Morin Freneau. Let's know more about Freneau. Morin Freneau is an American poet, nationalist, sea captain, and newspaper editor. He is also the poet of American Revolution and father of American literature. The Indian Burying Ground is a romantic poem, and the title Indian Burying Ground is American in the sense it describes the American Indians' tradition in burying a dead body. When Indians die, they bury them in sitting position. They think that the dead are with life in their own world. The poem is in 10 regular stanzas with a rhyming scheme A-B-A-B. So now, let's discuss the first stanza of the poem. In spite of all the learned have said, I still my old opinion keep. The posture that we give the dead points out the soul's eternal sleep. In the first stanza of the poem, the speaker argues against the custom of a corpse in a prone or sleeping position, where death is viewed as an eternal sleep for the person's soul. Did you get the idea? So okay, very good. Now let's move on to the second stanza of the poem. Not so the ancients of these lands, the Indian went from life released. Again is seated with his friends and shares again the joyous feast. In the second stanza, a new dimension of looking alive is introduced here. The posture we keep to our dead determines how we look at life after death. Death is not end, but it is a release for life, is seen as bondage. American Indians believe in life as lasting or existing forever. It is an ad infinitum process. The activities of man in Indian concept continue even after death. Did you get it? Do you have any questions so far? So okay, thank you. Let's discuss the third and fourth stanza. His image birds and painted bowl, and venison for a journey dressed, bespeak the nature of the soul, activity that knows no rest. His bow for action ready bent, and arrows with a head of stone, can only mean that life is spent, and not the old ideas gone. In the third stanza, the Indian concept of life after death is quite different from Christian concept that believes in an annual of earthly activities after death. The image of bird and painted bow suggests the restless life of Indians after death, whereas the image of the bow and arrow in the fourth stanza shows remain of ideas after death. Again, what does the image of bird and painted bow suggest? Okay, very good. It suggests the restless life of Indians after death. How about the image of bow and arrow in the fourth stanza? Okay, very good. It shows the remain of ideas after death. Do you have any clarification? None. So let's move on to the fifth stanza of the poem. Though stranger that shall come this way, no fraud upon the dead commit. Observe the swelling turf and say, they do not lie, but here they sit. In the fifth stanza, Freneau wants his audience to understand the different views that Native Americans possess concerning death and the afterlife. And the poet requested Americans who are quite unknown the tradition to remain quiet. It shows that we need to respect their tradition. Understand? Okay, so here is the sixth stanza. Here still a lofty rock remains, on which the curious eye may trace, now wasted half by wearing reins, the fancies of a ruder race. In this stanza, Freneau is describing the European custom burial. Usually headstones of white people are called, engraved, memorials to the dead. However, the Native Americans highlight the vigor and soul still hold. Did you get it? Do you have any question? None so far. So here's the next stanzas of the poem. Here still an aged elm aspires, beneath whose far projecting shade, and which the shepherd still admires, the children of the forest played. There oft the restless Indian queen, pale Sheba with her braided hair, and many a barbarous form is seen, to chide the man that lingers there. By midnight moons are moistening dews, in habit for the chase arrayed. The hunter still the deer pursues, the hunter and the deer shade. In stanzas 7, 8, and 9, these last few stanzas of the poem give a glimpse of the hunting nature of Indians. The attachment of the Indians with the forest is still the same as it was earlier. Did you understand? Thank you so much. So let's discuss the 10th and last stanza of the poem. And long shall timorous fancy see the painted chief and pointed spear, and reason's self shall bow the knee to shadows and delusions here. In the last stanza of the poem, the Indian burying ground, it is a message inviting people to understand his culture, as it is without prejudices, cause all the cultures do have significance in the world. So all in all, Freneau is saying that different cultures need to be acknowledged rather than looked down upon because they are different. So what do you think is the theme of this poem? Okay, very good. The theme of this is indulges in nostalgia for the primitive. The past and the fantastic is envisaged through the poet's and reader's imagination, which is deemed more powerful than the faculty of reasons in the human mind. Do you have any question? Any clarification? None. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening.
I wanna hear you sing it. Hey, mama, don't stress your mind.